Got it. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our LifeVantage Animal World overview tonight, where we are going to be spending the next 30 minutes or so sharing information about some breakthrough technology and my very favorite part, sharing some stories. I believe that stories are just so important in what we do, and we've got some specialization coming in from this animal world that we are living in. So I'm so glad that you're here tonight. My name is Chrissy Amaral. I live in Northern California. I am a wife and mom to two busy boys who keep us busy with travel sports. I have been in the HR corporate world for about 25 years now, and with LifeVantage now for almost 5 of those years. And I always say that LifeVantage found me after some years of infertility and 2 successful, thankfully, rounds of IVF. I was really just investing in me again, getting my health and my body back, getting back in the gym, eating well, and just doing all the right things because I wanted to be a present and healthy mom for my family. But in my late 30s, I started having heart palpitations that I really didn't think too much of at first. But we do have some heart disease in my family, and they did start to get progressively worse. And I just, they started happening daily, and I was very concerned by that. So after Thanksgiving in 2017, I wound up in the ER. Sure, I was having a heart attack and being hooked up to all the testing and the monitoring. All they could say was that everything looked okay, but they just think I'm stressed. And we'd like to be, try a beta blocker and see if that will help. And to be honest, I mean, what mom doesn't have some stress, but I just didn't feel like this was the answer. I really think that our bodies talk to us for a reason, and being one who never likes to take anything because I always want to listen to my body and not try and mask what's going on, I was looking for another way. So it just so happened a friend and a gym coach of mine was posting about a little gathering to talk about some of these products at her house. And so much like you are here tonight, I went to hear the information, and I was so excited about what I heard that night I went home and I ordered it, and I have not looked back. So thank you for taking 30 minutes of your evening to join us tonight. I just ask that you focus this time on you and really hearing this information that we're going to share. And be sure and thank whoever invited you, because they clearly care about you and your furry friends, and because it's never too early or too late to focus on your health and the health of loved ones. LifeVantage is a really neat company leading the way in activation, where we're activating our bodies to function and perform more optimally. So our hero product, Protandim NRF2, was formulated in 2003. And in 2005, John Quinones of ABC Primetime's investigative report interviewed the doctor who formulated Protandim to debunk the theory that a little yellow activator could naturally lower oxidative stress. If you haven't had a chance to watch this Primetime investigative report, ask the person who invited you to share it with you, because it's quite interesting. Basically, John's goal on that show was to disprove the information that we were sharing, saying about our reduction of oxidative stress. And so he took Protandim NRF2 for 2 weeks. And after those 2 weeks, his oxidative stress levels were tested, and they went down 45%. And this was basically the catalyst that spawned other universities and institutions to do their own self-funded research on Protandim. So it wasn't actually LifeVantage that was paying for these studies. But if you look at some of these names, you can see there were some big names looking at what we were doing. Ohio State University, the National Institute of Aging, Harvard, American Heart Association. PubMed is our US Library of Medicine, if you're not familiar with it. And it's a place where your doctor will go to do research. It's not Google. If you type in Protandim, you will see 28 peer-reviewed clinical studies published here, as well as over 25,000 articles on NRF2. And just to give you some context on this, when I started looking at this information less than 5 years ago, there was only 6,000 studies. Now there are over 25,000, and that's a pretty big deal, right? So this is the reason we have so many health professionals a part of our company, because it's all about the science. Oxidative stress is the root of inflammation, which is the root of all disease, and it affects every organ and system in our body. And it happens naturally as we age, but more so now than ever, because in the United States, there have been over 85,000 more chemicals introduced since the Industrial Revolution. And these toxins create free radicals, which attack our cells, and the attack on the cell is called cellular oxidative stress. And our cells have their own defense mechanism where they kick out the antioxidants to reduce this oxidative stress. But really, our cells just cannot keep up with this process as we get older. or have a higher toxic burden on our cells. So protein NRF2 activates our own cells to make antioxidants 24/7. It's not magic, but it's really just activating our magical bodies to do what they do naturally. And by lowering oxidative stress, our bodies have the opportunity to function more optimally. And who doesn't want that? So LifeVantage Pet Tandem is a supplement that we have for dogs formulated to combat oxidative stress through NRF2 activation, just like that does in humans, because oxidative stress does not only occur in humans, but also in animals. And we actually, we just discovered that there was a 60-day multi-site double-blind placebo-controlled study in which 80 dogs of any breed were arbitrarily designated to either a treatment group or a placebo group, and 76 of the 80 dogs completed the study. The average age of the dogs was 8.6 years, and veterinarians and owners assessed these dogs for health outcomes and for hematological and biochemical changes. So before unfolding the study sites, veterinary techs and owners reported that dogs that received the active product were more energetic, playful, and alert. And that's absolutely what we want in our animals. We want to have more life in their years, and pictures are worth 1,000 words. I mean, you can see these same litters from this dog. These guys are brothers, and you can see the difference in just how they look. I mean, the one on the right looks so much younger. It's crazy. Same age. Same with this horse. You can see after being activated for only a few months, look at his coat. I mean, it's gorgeous. And they have all natural products and ingredients in there, including fish oil with omegas, which are so important, and collagen. And that is something I want to mention tonight is collagen. This is another one of those hero products that LifeVantage has recently developed. Drop it in the chat if you are a collagen user. I know I've been a collagen user for years, and it's quite the buzzword these days, but for good reason. We know there are thousands of collagens on the market. There's powders and cream and pills and broths, but how do we know really what makes them different? Or to be honest, if they're even working? So what if I told you there is a collagen that actually activates our own body's natural collagen making processes? There is, and it's ours. It's our liquid collagen, and it's the only collagen on the market to activate our personal production, as well as replenish and maintain our collagen levels. So our bodies contain 28 different types of collagen, and collagen accounts for about 30% of our body's proteins. It's in everything. It's in our eyes, our brain, our intestines, our joints, our ligaments, and our collagen levels start to deplete around 30 years old. We generally will see it on the skin first, wrinkles, sagging skin. That's where we notice it. Our skin's our biggest organ. But most collagens on the market only contain 1 to 2 types of collagens. Ours contains 10 types. So you're not going to only see the difference in your skin and your hair and your nails, but you're going to feel the difference in your joints, in your ligaments, in your gut, and so much more. So we just ask for one thing, that when you start your collagen journey with us, is that you document your process. And this is why. This is our good friend, Betty. I actually just met Betty at a meeting we had a couple of months ago, and oh my gosh, her skin was glowing. She is one of our consultants, and our pictures that you might be seeing or will now be seeing are of our amazing customers and our consultants. And we have vetted every photo that we share. And because our product is helping our bodies produce their own collagen, we're really seeing these results pretty quickly across the board. Men included, and really all over the body. So if you do decide to take the leap and try our amazing collagen, I would take lots of photos in natural light of all different parts of your bodies, and be prepared to be amazed. This is just a snapshot of our LifeVantage family of products, and they're all developed to work in synergy in your body to affect every organ, every system, and provide optimal health to slow down the aging process. And just to really have more life in your years. I think that's something that we can all really appreciate. And I'm excited to dive deeper into how activation helps our furry family members. And you're about to hear from some experts in this field. But first, I would really be remiss if I didn't share the opportunity at LifeVantage. We are leaders in the activation market. We are headquartered in Utah. We're a publicly traded company with an incredible board of directors that we've all had the privilege of hearing from, including Aaron Brockovich, who, by the way, loves our collagen. We're a debt-free company. We just launched an amazing enhanced compensation plan for the next generation of entrepreneurs. And first and foremost, we are social sellers. So when you hear these stories, you can't unhear this information and you can't help but want to share it because it's so profound. And this really is a turnkey business that you can run from your phone from anywhere. There are no assets, there's no inventory to carry, but most importantly, it's our incredible culture and community and our leadership team of like-minded people from all walks of life who saw this opportunity to help others, to help themselves. And I, for one, am so thankful that I decided to say yes to this as well. I'll be honest, I had no intention of doing this as a business, but my experience with the products was so incredible. And of course, I wanted my friends and family to know about what I was doing that had worked because they all knew that I was struggling as well with my health and just being concerned. And I shared earlier on that I've been in corporate America for 25 years and my job was impacted at the end of last year. So the pandemic had finally caught up to the company I worked for. We had a very large layoff. And after almost 11 and a half years of service with them, I found myself unemployed. So it was at that moment that I realized I had been digging my well before I was thirsty and pouring into this beautiful business along the way. And honestly, because of that decision I made almost 5 years ago, I feel excited about the future instead of scared. You know, we don't have control of a lot of things happening in this life, but we do have opportunities if we're brave enough to go for it. And with that, I am so excited to introduce you to a few amazing ladies that are a part of LifeVantage. So let me stop sharing my screen so that you guys can see them. My first guest is Andrea Davis. She is a wife, an herbalist, and a dog to 4 Shar-Pei. She has a 10,000 member dog health group, as well as being an admin on several other dog groups, and has had amazing success within the dog community with our incredible LifeVantage products. So Andrea, go ahead and unmute yourself. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me tonight. Can you hear me okay? Well, a little bit about me. 4 years ago, I was bedridden and I had such terrible headaches that I couldn't lift my head off the pillow. I couldn't handle light. I'm sure we've pretty much all been there. My arms felt like they were falling asleep all the time, and I couldn't even hold a knife to make my dog's food. I'm a raw feeder, so that's a little difficult. I wasn't able to walk up and down the stairs to get to my bedroom, so my husband put in a stair lift for me. I was using a walker to get back and forth. Wasn't fun. At 58 years old, you don't expect to live like that. And I felt like I was 90 and I just wanted it to be over with. But I was watching my friend on Facebook, and she was recovering from a really catastrophic snowmobile accident. And I'm watching her hiking in the woods with her dogs and in the mountains in Colorado, actually, and thinking, what is she doing? She's got to be doing something special to be looking that good and doing so well. So I asked her about it, and she told me about our little yellow activator and changed my life. She literally saved my life. I started taking it and noticed a difference in about 6 days, which is pretty phenomenal. The headaches were gone. I felt like $1 million. I wasn't falling down anymore. I can hike in the woods with my dogs. I can climb in a tree stand and shoot my bow and do all the things that I did before. When I first started taking these products, I knew that I had my hands on something special. By the end of the month, I wanted to try another product. I started with the one and I started adding them on, and I just kept feeling better and better. So I started my dogs on the little activator as well. I have a 9-year-old Shar-Pei, and she was slowing down at the time and getting stiff. And I thought, well, let's try her on it and see, because I didn't talk to anybody about it until, oh gosh, they'd been on them for almost a year. But I noticed that she had more energy. She was bouncing around and playing with the other dogs, instigating play. She's She's been on it for about 4 years now too, and she still looks and acts like she's 6 months old at 9 years old. Their coats are all so incredibly soft, and that's not something that you would expect in a Shar-Pei. Not at all. In fact, they're known for their itching and skin issues, and but mine don't have any of those issues at all. They're beautiful. So after about a year, I took it to my dog group and started showing some before and afters, and everybody started jumping on because our breed is born with some incredible hereditary issues that make up their wrinkles. It just comes along with the territory. So the stories started rolling in. And the stories are phenomenal. It's been amazing. People are telling me that I'm saving their dogs. They look amazing. Their coats are beautiful. They went from patchy to the most beautiful coats I've ever seen. Some of these dogs look like show dogs, and they're not. They're just somebody's pets. And then I lost my train of thought there.
I have somebody sharing their screen. What's going on? Hold on. Chrissy, do you know?
Shelly Ensign screen.
Yeah, you're sharing your screen. Okay, keep going, Andrea.
Okay. Well, shortly after all this, my husband lost his job, of course, during COVID. And I knew that I had to do something to be able to afford these products for myself and him and my dogs. And so I started selling. And it's been amazing, absolutely amazing, life-changing for me. I didn't have to go back to work in an office like I thought I would have to. I don't punch a time clock. I can work from anywhere I want to work, including a beach in Cabo. I've earned 2 incentive trips since I've been with the company in my 4 years. It's pretty amazing to be able to just work from your phone wherever you happen to be. If somebody has a problem with their dog, they know they can contact me anytime, and I'm happy to help them. It's so nice to be able to be available to do those things and be available for my family. My husband also cut his leg with a chainsaw down to the bone, and they cut in ribbons. And speaking of our collagen, it had just arrived at my house like 2 days before that. And he got home from the ER. I handed it to him. I said, "You start this right now." And within the month, he was healed enough to go back to work and didn't need physical therapy, didn't need pain meds. He'd been activated for a while, but what was supposed to be a really bad scar, and they expected to be a raised scar, actually ended up looking like a cat scratch, and it's totally smooth. So we're pretty impressed with all the products. And I really feel like I'm so blessed to be in this company. I love every person in it. I've met so many of them at convention, and they're like a big family. They really are. I just couldn't be more blessed to be with a group of people like this. And I wouldn't hesitate to jump into this with both feet all over again.
Thank you so much, Andrea. I resonate everything that you just said about that too. I think we're just doing so much good, and you seeing it from the animal side too is just incredible because, you know, that's not a placebo effect, right? You're seeing it, they're feeling it.
And it's thousands of dogs. I have well over 1,000 customers and thousands of dogs on these products, and they're doing amazing.
That's so great. Thank you so much for sharing. And follow Andrea if you want some information on helping your dogs as well too. She's probably got lots of pictures and stories to share. Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much. Next up, we're going on the other side here. We've got Candace Pelfrey. Hopefully I said that last name right, Candace. She's an equine professional that teaches lessons as well as drives a school bus and works for the USDA. She learned about the products and how they benefit horses as well as herself. With her bachelor's degree in equine science, she understands how the equine industry can benefit from our products and is working on building an elite team of equine health consultants. That's amazing. Welcome, Candace.
Hey, everybody. So yeah, I actually just got in from doing lessons a little bit ago. And I actually have a couple of animal stories, which you can kind of see my photo bomber here. He's been across a few times. He's been across a few times. So I originally got started with this from my friend Amber. A couple years ago, we have a quarter horse gelding that my daughter showed quarter horse circuit, did a bunch of stuff with, and he had autoimmune issues. And every time he would get stressed, it would come out in his eyes. His eyes would get really cloudy. And, you know, when you're showing, that really affects their vision, and then they can't show properly. So I have a really good equine vet. She's holistic. We tried a few things that kind of helped for a while, but then he would just have another trigger, another reaction. So finally, I heard about the Protandim from Amber, and I started giving him 2 a day. And it's blown me away. What it did for him, he came with so many issues. He was stiff. He couldn't focus. He would get real nervous. And ever since he's been on that, he acts like a nice, quiet, good boy that I've used for riding lessons now for 5- and 6-year-old kids. And I've actually taken over riding him, and we're doing dressage and stuff now. And she has a new show horse, but it hasn't had any issues with his eyes since we started him on that. He hasn't had any flare-ups, nothing. His joints are fabulous. He moves well. It was great for him. So I thought, well, this is awesome. And I know so many horse people, so I just wanted to share it with everyone. So I started talking to people about it, and Amber's like, well, you should try it. You should try it. So I'm like, okay. So I started taking it for myself. Oh my gosh, I could sleep all night. That was amazing. That was fabulous. It's so hard to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and drive a school bus in the dark if you're groggy. So I started taking it. Then I started my daughter taking it because she's going to school and she wants to be a vet. So she's in pre-vet right now. And I finally got on board the very end of December. So basically beginning this year, I started on as a consultant. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to share this with everyone. But guess what? They have Protandim. Well, my cat over here, Carrot, he will be 15 this year. And he had skin allergies. And you can see right now, he is sitting here with me. Before, he would just sleep and hide all day. And so I thought, well, I'm going to give it a shot with him. So I saw some of your guys' comments. The dog Protandim pill, I break in half. And I give him a quarter of one a day. He weighs about 14, 15 pounds. And then we have a little kitten that my son rescued from our fairgrounds a few months ago. And he is addicted to these things. I actually did a video, it's on Facebook somewhere, of this little kitten that he comes running and he jumps. And he is attacking the bag of so when I break them up, they're cheddar and bacon flavored. So the dogs really like it. The cats, they're kind of okay, but I put them in the little pill pockets, the greeny pill pockets, because they're bigger and it's harder for my old Carrot to swallow. He only eats soft food. So I put them in the little pill pockets and it's real soft and I crunch them up. And I give my cats 3 a day. And our kitten is not so tiny. He's almost bigger than him. And he climbs the walls everywhere. He's like a crazy kitty all the time. It's fabulous. So my cats are all on it. And I thought, well, okay, it's working for them. Protandim's working for me. Guess what? I'm going to go for the collagen. 30 years of riding horses with a crooked back has taken a toll on my body. My hips hurt, my back hurt so much. I didn't want to ride. It's hard to do my job if I can't do it because I hurt. So I started taking the collagen. I feel like I'm 20 years old again. It's hard for me to remember that I'm actually older than that. So maybe I should act that way. I had 8 lessons tonight in 4 hours. It was awesome. We had 2 or 3 horses we were going to try to ride, but it was way too many. So now I feel like I can get myself back this year. I can go back to riding 5 or 6 horses a day working with my lesson kids, riding with my lesson kids, showing them, you know, hey, we can all be great riders, and it's easier for me to teach if I can demonstrate myself. It's amazing, you guys. I mean, you would be blown away by what this has done for me. My husband he was in a really bad car wreck. I was still in high school. So it was many, many, many years ago. I have him on the Pro Tandem now. So it's helping him. And then I would like to start him on the collagen also in a few months, because he has all sorts of issues. He's like the bionic man now. So then, since I decided to go ahead and join on as a consultant, I've just been trying to, you know, spread the word. You know, it's an opportunity for anybody to go out and try this. Give it a shot. It's just going to make your animal's performance better. You know, if you're showing animals, keep them on the Pro Tandem. And then we have the Axio. I don't know if you guys haven't talked to you about the Axio yet, but we can also give that to the horses. Give it to them in their grain. It's a powder form, or you can actually pour it in their water. It's just going to help them drink more. So when you're going to shows, it's just going to reduce the stress of traveling, the stress of being somewhere different, being worked for several hours. Yeah, there is a really good video that we have found, Axio for horses. I know, it's great. And the peppermint flavor, horses love peppermint. So there's that also. But yeah, we found a really good video. We've been doing some studies ourselves. I have a good group of people behind me. My uplines are awesome. And they've really been helping me go out and kind of reach out and figure all this out so that we can, you know, tell people what really works and what is actually the best optimal performance level for their animals and how to get there. So it's been great.
That's great. Thanks, Candace. I didn't know Axio for horses. That you just taught me something new today.
That's what everybody says.
Yeah, and I see someone posted about their dogs as well, agility dogs. So interesting to hear that. And we all know we're gonna pay and do whatever we need for our animals, especially performance animals. So this information is going to help maybe possibly save people some money down the road with some of that prevention as well. I've heard lots of amazing horse stories. So thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that. Next up, we've got two more guests, so hang tight. You guys, is great information. Amber White is a kinesiologist, nutritionist, human and animal health expert. She has dedicated her life to raising healthy animals and improving quality of life and standards in the industry. She breeds and shows Great Danes and French Bulldogs, and she has ridden horses for over 30 years. She loves sharing that life with her 4 kids. She calls herself the circus mom and has dedicated the last 4 years to educating people and animals on activation and healing from the inside out. I know she is camping tonight, so thank you for jumping on, Amber. We can't wait to hear from you.
Yes, thank you. And it truly is, you can do this anywhere, because I am camping, but this was amazing to be able to share. Yes, Sarah got her Great Dane from me, and another gal on my team has her Great Dane from me. Erica Dale has her French Bulldog from me. So I absolutely love, I loved this company that I could do both humans and animals. That's my jam. Being able to educate, create knowledgeable consumers. And just like in people, guys, and even more so in animals, they don't have a voice. Like, we have to be their voice. So kind of like our kids, right? Like we should be our kids' voice, and we have to be our animals' voice. I have been working with vets, and I've been in the animal industry since a kid. I think my parents started raising dogs when I was like 5 years old. I've worked for several vets around the Indiana area, but this is what I love. The ability to be able to change the trajectory of your animal's life or situation, issue, diagnosis, ailment, whatever it may be. To be able to change that is a huge and amazing tool. And again, not only for your animal, but also yourself. I'm a health professional, and I had a lot of health issues going on, and I couldn't figure them out. A lot of them that the doctor couldn't even tell me. That's a whole nother road. But I didn't want to take what the doctor said as my end all answer. So I knew better, and I knew I could find what the root cause was. And that's really what led me to this. But we're talking about animals. So I have given my horse this. I bought a horse once with double eye cancer, believe it or not. How crazy is that? Not on purpose. But the horse had amazing surgery to remove the cancer from the eyelids. But what happens after that is the body goes through a lot of toxic things and a lot of havoc and a lot of what do I want to say, non-synergistic things that happen inside the body. And so I knew if I could give him this to combat that, it would improve not only his mood, but his hoof growth, his hair, his ability to recover a lot faster than maybe what it would have been before. And so that was really cool. He's an amazing guy, and his hoof growth was insane. So if anyone has paint horses or knows about paint horses, usually their hooves are awful. They're awful. They don't grow well. They are prone to abscess. They just are awful. So to be able to have this amazing hoof growth and to show the farrier and be like, yeah, this isn't a supplement. None of those supplements worked. This is actually healing the body from the inside and regenerating and rejuvenating. I have a Great Dane who's 10. She still will walk, run a mile with me every day. 10 years old is old for a Great Dane, guys. It's really old. I almost lost her at 9 months. She had an autoimmune disease. Almost, I had no idea if she would survive or not. So this was really important for me when I found this out to implement Protandem as to create longevity. You have to be really careful. Anytime you have an autoimmune, anything could set it off. So to be able to know, like, hey, I can combat our toxic environment. I can help my dog be able to fight that and increase her immune system is really awesome. Last year, I did an entire litter of Great Dane puppies because it's not only, you guys, I'm a science person, so I'm a trial and error type. It's not only for the olders, all right? I did an entire litter of puppies. I started them right from when they were able to eat puppy food. I did half the litter off Pet Tandem and half the litter on, all right? Because I wanted to see, like, what was the difference? And so I was able to have in my puppy contract, I do actually have this in there for when the dogs go home. They are to stay on this. And that's just my recommendation. But what I found in that trial was the Danes that were on it, when they went home, their coat was amazing. They never got Dane acne, which is really popular in the Great Danes. It's like having a teenager and they go through weird acne phases, right? Like a human teenager. Same thing happens with Great Danes. It's called Dane acne. They did not have Dane acne. They were really easy to train as far as they weren't really needy. They didn't have a lot of anxiety. All right. So that was really cool. I have had my pregnant mamas on Protandem while being pregnant. Why? Because we know that they're under a lot of stress, a lot of overload. They're growing babies, right? Like, how important is it for their bodies to be able to work well? Milk production, I had a litter of 14 puppies last summer. Like, that's a lot of pups. All right. So it was really important to keep mama super healthy during that time and her milk production up. And then finally, I would say two instances whatever. I had two Great Danes. All right. One, this was a few years ago, and I'm pretty sure she fractured her toe. All right. So she has this big club foot. She won't let anyone near it. And I'm like, great, here's another $400 doctor bill, right? Because they're going to charge you for an x-ray and anti-inflammatories and all of that. So I knew, listen, we're just going to put you on 2 Protandem a day and let's see what happens. By day 3, her swelling was almost completely gone. By day 4, she was running on her foot. All right. That's phenomenal, with no NSAIDs, no ibuprofen, no pain management, just the body's ability to reduce that inflammation incredibly fast and start to heal the area. 2 days before I leave for this camping trip, which this always happens, my husband loves it every time I leave because something goes wrong. Animals are silly. They do silly things. If you have them, you know. Horses are even more silly. So Great Dane's foot, she's a 9-year-old Great Dane, her foot's swollen. And I'm like, oh, great. Did you cut something? Did you break something? Is there something wrong? 2 days on Protandim, the swelling's completely gone. That's all I did for her, nothing else. So this has been phenomenal, not in just the aspect of helping my animals, but income wise, to be able to support those animals. Because let's be real, if you have animals, and particularly larger breed animals, or even French Bulldogs, they cost a lot of money and you need to protect that investment. And they do crazy things. So a $2,000 vet bill that is unexpected and unannounced, now I don't have to put it on a credit card or freak out about it. Like, where's the money going to come from? So I always tell people, like, protect your investment and be able to not have to stress about where is that money going to come from? How am I going to be able to afford this animal or afford their health care or, do this or that? This has been an amazing tool for me to just support my hobby and passion. So thanks for letting me share that, you guys. And if you have any animal questions, I'm here for you. I have so many more stories like so many of us do, but we'll on to the next.
Thanks, Amber. I know you said it multiple times, protect your investment. That's you, that's your animals, that's your family. There's many ways to do that. So thank you for sharing little stories too, because I think that's helpful for people to hear just what the power of activation can do. So one more story, last but not least. I don't want to keep you guys too much longer, but I would be remiss not to introduce Dana Finney. She is out of Brentwood as well. She is a mom to 2 kiddos. She has one big furry boy named Tonka, who my dogs love walking with. She's been with LifeVantage for about 5.5 years now, and she's been an ER vet tech for 25 years. So she has some good insight for us to wrap up this call. Dana, where are you at, girl?
All right, can you hear me? All right, perfect. So like Chrissy said, my name is Dana Finney, and I have been a vet tech for a very, very long time. Let's just say my daughter now works with me in the ER. She's going to school to be a vet tech as well. And I jumped into LifeVantage about 5.5 years ago. Been in the animal industry forever, like I said, but there's never been a product like Pet Tandem. And animals get all the same diseases as people do. They are diabetic, they have thyroid issues, cushioning issues, things like that. So if you really want to keep your pet healthy for as long as possible, personally, I have everybody start their animals on Pet Tandem at 8 weeks old. Why wait for disease or why wait for an issue? Like, start them on it as young as possible. Because my Boston Terrier, who I just recently lost, was 13 years old, and he absolutely looked amazing. When people saw him, they could never guess that he was 13 years old. I mean, he was walking 3 miles every single day with Chrissy's dogs, keeping up with everybody, all the little young bucks. And his blood work was amazing. His ultrasound was amazing. And like I said, he wasn't gray, like he just looked amazing. And he was activated for the last 5.5 years as well. And then Tonka, who's my big bully, as soon as we got him, I started him on actually the human Protandim because he's about 85 pounds. So you can give the bigger dogs, if it's going to be more cost effective for you, you can give them the human Pet Tandem, and I can kind of give you doses if you have questions. The benefit with the Pet Tandem is, like what Chrissy was saying, it does have collagen in it, which is great for their joints, but it also has omegas, which is good for heart support, brain, joints as well. So I highly recommend that. But as far as like the whole business and me, it's just been a great avenue. It's something that people reach out to me all the time for pet advice. And it's just an easy avenue for me. I've been able to get animals activated and their owners as well. The collagen, I mean, everybody loves collagen, but that's a whole nother thing. But just to be able to work from my phone anywhere and be able to provide solutions for people. And maybe people don't want to put their animals on pharmaceuticals for arthritis meds and things like that. So it's another option to try something that's natural. So I don't want to speak too long, but this has been a great avenue. I work full time and I do LifeVantage full time. And it's been really amazing to be able to share that and have 2 streams of income coming into our household. So if you guys have any questions, definitely reach out to whoever invited you to this call. And that's it. All like the pet sitters, vet techs, any animal lovers, like you guys can all do this while working full time. So I encourage you to reach out to whoever invited you to this call. So have a great evening, you guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for hopping on. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your stories. And like Dana said, reach out to whoever invites you to get more information. There's so much opportunity either which way that works for you and what you need. Take care, guys. Have a good night.
Okay, bye.
Bye.